Mosquito-borne viruses infect 100 to 350 million people worldwide each year. As stated by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention website cdc.gov, roughly 36,000 plus cases of West Nile virus and dengue fever were reported in the U.S. About 160 of those cases were reported in Los Angeles County. Every day the numbers and statistics change how many cases have been reported, how many people have been infected, and how many fatal incidents have occurred. Yeah. On the upper left is the state map for the activity of West Nile virus, and this one is the activity for dengue fever as of this year. As a member of the Los Angeles County, I am at risk just as much as each and every one of you in this room. So by learning about these two viruses, it will help and inform you about its background and how you can plan preventative measures. First, I will be talking about where they came from. Second, I will be talking about its symptoms and how it affects our body. And lastly, I will talk about prevention. So, what exactly is the West Nile virus and dengue fever? As stated by the California Department of Public Health as of 2014, the West Nile virus was first identified in West Nile subregion, East Africa, in the nation of Uganda in 1937. The West Nile virus is now spread globally, with its first case in the Western Hemisphere being in New York City of 1999. The first probable case of dengue fever was reported in the Chinese Medical Encyclopedia of the Jin Dynasty, which is from 265 to 428. West Nile virus and dengue fever are two mosquito-borne viruses that are from the genus Flavirus, which means it's a strand of viruses that are a group of the arthropod family. Arthropods are basically insects like ticks, spiders, bees, mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are typically found in temperate and tropical regions of the United States. Female mosquitoes are the only type that are able to carry and spread the virus, so if it isn't already infected with it, it can become infected by feeding on an animal or person and can transmit the disease to anybody after about a week. A little myth that goes on is that people can spread it to other people, which is not the case. You can only transact disease by coming in contact with the insect itself. So now that I have informed you about where the West Nile virus and dengue fever came from and how it spreads, I will now inform you about its symptoms. There is a 50% chance that if you are actually bitten, you will be completely fine, so hooray for your healthy immune system. The more common cases, or the more common symptoms for both the West Nile virus and dengue fever are very similar to the flu, like fatigue, chills, headaches, etc. The more severe symptoms for the West Nile virus would be your swollen lymph nodes, vomiting, nausea, and rashes. Less than 1% will actually experience what is called the West Nile neurasis disease, which targets your central nervous system, which causes inflammation of the brain, which is fatal. For dengue fever, the more common symptoms would be internal bleeding, joint, muscle, and bone pain, and something called defervorance, which makes your temperature go on a roller coaster basically. So 1 minute your temperature could be 105 plus and it will down, which isn't healthy because that could actually lower your heart rate. You won't actually start feeling symptoms 10 to 15 days after you are bitten. So now that I have informed you about its symptoms and where it came from, I will now move on to the most important part of this speech, which is prevention. Although the cases may be rare that you come in contact with this disease or viruses, it is still important to go over many plans on how to protect ourselves. So as stated by Ahad O'Connor of New York Times as of August 25th, 2012, the most common thing to do would be able to wear long sleeve shirts, pants, socks, and a hat. But if you don't want to be like dressed up as a Mormon during summer, then there's another solution to this, which is DET certified bug repellent, which is your most common brands like Off and Cutter. Another type of insect repellent is permethrin, and the only reason this one is pretty special is because you can apply it on your clothes, your shoes, your tents, and any other material that you want to keep safe. Don't put it on your skin or else that won't be good. That's what Off is for. This one is pretty special because it could last up to 5 washes. And the reason that these are necessary is because as of right now, there is no cure for the West Nile virus or dengue fever. A little tip is that the mosquitoes like to feed at dawn and dusk, so staying inside during those times would be very helpful to your protection. Lastly, I would like to go over that Centers for Disease and Controls would like to take a precautionary measure and have you report to them any big amount of recent dead animals that are in your community. And the reason why that's pertinent is that animals can catch these viruses just as easily as we can, and they would actually prefer that you tell them so they could do tests and research just to make sure there isn't an epidemic or an outbreak occurring at the moment. So now that we have talked about its prevention, where they came from, and its symptoms, we can now wrap things up. I first talked to you about where they came from, how it spreads, what symptoms and how the bite can affect our body, and how we can prevent ourselves from catching these viruses. I think it's super important to have a little insight of things that are going around in our everyday life, and especially that have to do with our health. So hopefully I was able to contribute to this subject matter. Thank you.